Hey, so this is part 2 of me showing you what my Central St. Martin's Foundation in Art and Design Diagnostic portfolio was. If you have not seen part 1 as yet, the link is here, and if you want to see part 3, so the link is here and they're all in the descriptions as well. So yes, now I'm gonna start. So this was the cover of my portfolio. Like, when you keep the art portfolio and the fashion portfolio together, this is what you see. This is basically me, and this is like, I have traced this part out of self-portrait which I had done, and I'll tell you about all these textures, these mark making things which I have done. I'll tell them to you later. And yeah, basically that was the project. So I displayed them on my cover. I cut it out and it's like, idea bubbles coming out of my head, and it's all very colorful. Can you see the whole thing? Yeah, so this is how it is, and all this is done by black marker. So the whole thing behind is done by black marker, not paper. Okay, so a lot of stuff which I did was a study of hands, and this is also a study of hands. So basically it was not about doing all of this. The concept of this is the cruel hands of terrorism exist, which is this, but we must not lose grip on our strings of hope. So that's what it was, but that was not what was thought in the beginning. That was just when I had to color, I just did a study, and then when I had to color it, that's how I colored it, because it filled into a concept. Then after that, and I wanted to start strong on my portfolio, so that's why I kept to the first page. Then yes, I have a lot of study of hands. This is a blind contour. I have some feet, but mostly it's about hands. Now, a blind contour is when you look at the object which you're drawing, which was mainly hands, but you don't look at your paper while drawing. So your lines are there, they're perfect, but the ratio between the lines and the negative spaces, the placing of them, it's absolutely wrong. It may look pathetic when you just look at it, but it actually improves your drawing skills in the future. So that's like the blind contour paradox. So yeah, and this is just added this color to just make it look a little bit more lively. Like that I've done a lot of places. This is also a blind contour of my hand. It's a continuous line, so it just has a lot of technicalities. I don't think I should explain right now. And yeah, all this stuff is done with different things. This is done with ink. It is like directly done on paper, so without the pencil, so the proportions are wrong. This is a blind contour as well. And this is basic, very basic observation drawing, and I added all of these extra things just to make it look a little more lively. This is done by tissue paper directly, so you know how it's ink and tissue paper, so how it actually directly soaks everything up, but it's your tactic to make it look better. Then this is also a blind contour. This is done with 2 sketch pens holding them together. Now there's this mannequin you get, so you can just put it in some different positions and sketch it out or anything. And what I did was I used ink for this as well. Now the study of hands is done. This is my study of human figures, and the mannequin obviously makes it easier to understand the human figures. I know my hand is coming in front of the camera a lot, sorry. And and all this again is just, whatever you do, some things are very basic. They're amazing drawing skills, but they're very basic, so you can just do some stuff to, add to it. And this is also human figures, like mannequins and all that. So is this. Now this was actually, my teacher was posing and changing her position every 10 seconds, and you had to, again, it's like the quick sketches book I have. So this is what it was. Most of this is done in my portfolio class. This art portfolio is again my teacher posing. Now here we start with understanding my tonal values. This is more, again, this is something very basic. People do that when they're small as well, but this is to show that I do have the drawing skills which are needed, and these are the different kinds: shading, hatching, cross hatching, scribbling and stippling. So yeah, that's that. Then I started with this. This is all done with real observation. So there was a ball, there was a lamp, and this is done with shading, and this is like, I was actually supposed to do hatching here, but I kind of ended up doing like a mixture of hatching and shading together, so that's what this is. And here now this one, I'm just gonna keep my portfolio horizontal, I'm not gonna like lift it up, whatever. So yeah, this one piece, I really didn't like it at all, but my teacher, she kind of forced me to put it, because she's like, I want the interviewer to see your procedure of how you improved, because after that I have stuff like this. This is basically a ribbon, and the shading which is done by the different methods. So somewhere I've done scribbling, somewhere I've done hatching and cross hatching, and this is drapery. So yeah, that's that. This is done with the charcoal. This is the study of folded paper. Here we had to use the paper, and it had, obviously we had to use paper, what am I saying, and we had to fold the paper in some random way. This was striped paper, and while drawing it had to be real size, it had to be life size. So this is exactly what the size of the real paper was, and we were not allowed to use a scale till we finished the drawing, and only while coloring, so that this doesn't go out. Only at that time did we use a scale. And this is the study of a crumpled paper. This was like, we have a board over there where you can pin stuff. So I had just pinned this over there, and then I had pinned this over there. So that's the sketch, and this got a little bit spoiled when I was putting the fixator. Actually, a good trick for fixator, like if you don't want to just buy it, what I did was, my teacher suggested this, that you can just put hairspray if you have that, and it actually doesn't smudge after you put hairspray. So yeah, that's cool. And this is a self-portrait. I don't know how much this looks like me. Kind of does, kind of doesn't, and this is what I had copied over there. And now what is over here? Yeah, this is a study of negative space. This is a study of only one. What we had to do is just sketch out the negative space around the object, and it's not necessary that it has to seem like an object which you are taking, but basically, yeah, it improves your drawing skills. This is the study of one chair, and this again is the study of chair, but like not one chair, the several chairs placed together on top of each other, here, there, all of that, and just taking like a particular part of it and sketching it out. Only negative space. Now this is my perspective study. I should really put my portfolio properly, but yeah, I think you understand. Yeah, this is the study of perspective. This is 1 point, this is 2 point, and this is the study of a sharpener, not done using scale. Here I had a friend posing for me. So yeah, this is live drawing of 10 minutes. This is live drawing of 15 minutes. Now we come to this part which I have told you in the very beginning about mark making. So what is here is, these are just parts of the mark making textures. But yeah, it was a lot more. I mean, when you see the whole thing, each texture was half of the A4 size, which like A8 size, yeah. And what we had to do, it was a totally open project. You couldn't really make shapes, but apart from that, it was very open. You can use any material you find in class or in general which you have in your bag, and make random mark making textures out of it. And whatever I've just written under it is the description of what it is, and this is what I have used on my cover. I used the whole real one. So yeah, that is my art portfolio. So that was my art portfolio, and most of the work in the art portfolio, it was suggested by my teacher. Most of the work there was done in class. But if you missed part 1, you can click here, you can see it here, and if you want to see part 3, which is the fashion portfolio, you can click here. And the fashion portfolio is the part which is mostly done by me at home with my ideation, but yeah, I obviously showed it to my teacher and everything. So yeah, that's that.